They say it was all started with a mouse. But how accurate is that statement really? Hey everyone, Wayne here with Almost There Travel Company. In celebration of Disney's 100 Years of Wonder celebration, we're going to go through the history of the Walt Disney Company decade by decade, starting with the 20s. So put on your ear hats, grab your churros, because here we go. The beginning of the Walt Disney Company actually starts with a different company altogether. June 28th, 1921 in Kansas City, Missouri, Walter Elias Disney and Ub Iwerks founded the animation company Laugh-O-Gram Studios. What Walt Disney really wanted to do when he opened the studio was make animated versions of children's fairy tales. The studio started producing a short film based on Alice in Wonderland called Alice's Wonderland. The short was a mix of live action and animated content, with a live action Alice, played by Virginia Davis, interacting with a cartoon Wonderland. After finishing initial production on the short, Laugh-O-Gram Studios ended up filing for Chapter 11 bankruptcy in July of 1923. Disney was able to sell his camera and buy a one-way train ticket to California to be with his brother, Roy O. Disney. Bringing along his film reel of Alice's Wonderland, hoping to find somebody to help fund the rest of the production. Enter New York film distributor Margaret J. Winkler, owner and founder of M.J. Winkler Pictures and producer of such productions as the Felix the Cat cartoons and the Out of the Inkwell series, which was actually a big inspiration for Alice's adventures. Disney sent her Alice's Wonderland, and she fell in love with the idea. And, in spite of Laugh-O-Gram Studios now being out of business, Margaret signed a year-long contract at Disney to make more Alice shorts. With his new influx of cash, on October 16, 1923, Walt and Roy Disney founded the Disney Brothers Cartoon Studio, the first animation studio in Hollywood, and the very studio that would go on to become the Walt Disney Company that we know today. Ub Iwerks soon moved to Hollywood to join them as well. Between 1923 and 1927, the Disney Brothers Cartoon Studio would make 57 Alice short films, which are all now in the public domain. In 1926, the Disney Brothers moved into their new studio on Hyperion Street and changed the company's name to Walt Disney Studios. Also in 1926, Margaret Winkler, now Margaret Winkler Mintz, would hand her company over to her husband, Charles B. Mintz, so she could spend more time at home with their new child. He was now in charge of distributing all films their production company, now named Winkler Productions, worked on. In 1927, unhappy with how expensive it was to make the Alice shorts, he asked the Walt Disney Studios to create a new character under Universal Pictures. So Walt Disney created his first series of fully animated films, starring everybody's favorite black and white anthropomorphic animal. That's right, Oswald the Lucky Rabbit. Disney would go on to create 26 films with Oswald, and they would be a big hit. So big, in fact, that Walt wanted more money for making them, but Charles Mintz revealed that not only would he be paying less for the cartoons, Disney didn't even own the intellectual property rights to Oswald. Universal did. And if they didn't take a pay cut, Mintz would make the films without them. And that's exactly what happened. Walt Disney refused the pay cut, so Charles Mintz poached most of his animators, excluding Ub Iwerks, and he started making Oswald cartoons on his own. Walt Disney, unperturbed, decided to make another character, one that he would own the rights to, one based on drawings of pet mice that he and Ub had at their Laugh-O-Gram studios. They would name him Mortimer Mouse. Well, at least that was his original name. When Walt told his wife Lillian, she was not a fan of Mortimer, and asked Walt to name him Mickey instead. Walt asked Ub to draw some character designs, and after going through a few different animals that Walt rejected, including a female cow named Clarabelle, and a male horse named Horace Horsecollar, he drew Mickey based on those drawings of their pet mice, and the Disney icon was born, first showing up in the test short Plain Crazy. Mickey didn't resonate with audiences, and Walt couldn't find a distributor. However, on November 18, 1928, distributed by Celebrity Productions, Steamboat Willie was released. Co-directed by Walt Disney and Ub Iwerks, and with Iwerks serving as head animator, Steamboat Willie was officially the debut of Mickey and Minnie Mouse, both voiced by Walt Disney himself, despite both appearing in the not widely released Plain Crazy. Being an homage to Buster Keaton's Steamboat Bill Jr., Steamboat Willie was the first cartoon with fully synchronized sound, meaning that the music and effects matched up with what was happening on the screen, leading to the film becoming immensely popular. Walt Disney Studios would go on to make more Mickey Mouse cartoons, with Mickey speaking for the first time in 1929's The Carnival Kid, yelling, "Hot dogs!" 1929's The Opry House would be the first cartoon where Mickey wears his iconic white gloves. The period couldn't last though. Walt Disney would face a betrayal that would rattle him deeply in 1930. But that's a story for a different decade. Thank you for watching, everybody. Disney is a big passion of ours, and we're already working on the next decade's video, and some others as well. So please subscribe, ring that bell so you know when the next video drops, leave a comment down below, let me know what you thought, and see you real soon.